Welcome to NIOS. Today we shall study second part of lesson number 27. The title of the lesson is Peace and Security. In the previous lesson, we learnt about the concept of peace and security. We also learnt about the different features of peace and security. We came to know about the need of peace and security for democracy in the country. Finally, we learnt about the internal threats which are present before the security of India, like terrorism. Today, we will learn about the condition of peace and security in India and the world. Now, we will talk about dangers to the peace and security of India. First is terrorism. Learners, terrorism is a big problem in not only India but the whole world. We learnt the meaning of terrorism in the previous lesson. Do you remember it? Let us revise it today. Terrorism means to use violence in order to create fear among people. Generally, the purpose of terrorism is to achieve some political or religious goal. India has been suffering from the problem of terrorism for the last many years. One of the biggest terrorist attacks was on Mumbai on 26 November 2008. Also known as 26/11. Many such terrorist attacks take place in different parts of the country. You must be thinking that who are terrorists? Terrorists are those people who conduct violent acts. Some of these people are foreigners, while others are Indians. Many times, these terrorists conduct bomb blasts or do firing at public places like railway stations, bus stands, etc. In this, many people are killed while many others are injured. Sometimes terrorists hijack planes, and ask government to accept their demands, like releasing other terrorists who were captured and kept in jails. learners, hijacking is to unlawfully occupy a plane by a person or a group of people. In this way, we learn that the main purpose of terrorism is to create an environment of terror to intimidate people and the governments. However, we should remember that terrorism is not the right way to fulfill demands or needs, as it causes death of innocent people and loss of public property. Second danger is insurgency. Learners, let us now learn about insurgency. It is also a big danger to the peace and security of a country. Let us first understand the meaning of insurgency. Insurgency is a rebellion against the government. People use violence to oppose the rule of the government. After independence, many such activities have been taking place in different parts of the country. Insurgent movements can be divided into two categories. Number 1, insurgent movements which are started to fulfill political goals. Number 2, insurgent movements which are started to fulfill social and economic goals. Insurgency is a big problem in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Most of the members of insurgent groups are Indians. However, they get support from neighboring countries. Third danger is Naxalite movement. The Naxalite movement is a big threat to peace and security of India. It began in a village of West Bengal but has now spread to different parts of the country. The Naxalites often attack public property, the government officers and police. They oppose any development inside the forest area. They want the villages and tribal areas to remain backward, because if the tribal people become educated, they will not listen to them. Therefore, they have been misguiding the innocent people that the government wants to take away their forest from them. However, the Naxalite movement spread because people were not satisfied with the government policies, and they thought that government was not working for their development. Naxalites are young men and women who belong to the scheduled tribes, scheduled castes, and other backward classes. Let us understand what are the steps taken by government to end terrorism, insurgency, and Naxal movement. The government of India has started many policies and schemes to end the problems of terrorism, insurgency, and Naxalite movement. In fact, terrorism is not only India's problem. In fact, such activities keep taking place in different parts of the world. India has supported all those countries which have been suffering from terrorism. India is also taking steps to control the problem of insurgency in the country. Many times, such insurgent groups take help from foreign countries. Therefore, India has signed agreements with Myanmar, and Bangladesh in order to stop insurgent groups from getting any help from these countries. As far as the Naxal problem is concerned, the government is trying to develop the tribal and backward areas. So that the people of these areas do not remain dissatisfied with the government and stop taking part in anti-government activities. Now we talk about the policy of non-alignment. For the progress and development of any country, peace and security in the world is necessary. After independence, India adopted the policy of non-alignment. Learners, before moving forward, let us first understand the meaning of non-alignment. The Second World War ended in 1945. After that, the world was divided in two groups. One group was led by America, while the other group was led by Russia. Most countries of the world joined one of these two groups. This period is also called Cold War, as no direct war was fought. However, an atmosphere of tension existed all over the world. In such time, few countries of the world decided not to join any of these two groups. This policy was called as non-alignment. Many countries joined this movement like India, Egypt, etc. Indian Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru played a very important role in establishing the non-aligned movement. However, non-alignment was born during the Cold War, when the world was divided into two groups. However, today Cold War has ended. Do you think NAM is useful even today? NAM means non-alignment movement. Yes, it is. As today, America is the only superpower in the world. In such situation, countries of NAM can work to end the dominance of America. As most of the countries of non-alignment movement belong to developing countries of Asia and Africa. These countries can work together to improve the condition of their people. Let us now understand about India and United Nations. Learners, after the Second World War came to an end, United Nations was formed. The work of this organization was to establish peace and end possibility of war in the world. Security Council is an important part of United Nations. It plays important role in maintaining peace and security in the world. At present, there are 5 permanent members in it. These 5 members are: first is America, second is Britain, third is Russia, fourth is China, fifth is France, India has been trying to get a place in the Security Council. Dear learners, now that we have reached the end of this lesson, it's time to revise it. We learnt about those dangers which are present before the peace and security of India. We also learnt about terrorism, insurgency, Naxalite movement. We also learnt about the policy of non-alignment and India's role in it. We also came to know about the formation of the United Nations. With this, we have reached the end of today's lesson. I hope you liked watching this video. If you have any queries, you may send your queries to signlanguage@nios.ac.in. For more information, you may visit website at www.nios.ac.in. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.